everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a fun DIY project using this black men's hoodie. Basically going to be taking it and doing the reverse tie-dye effect using bleach. I'm sure you guys have seen this trend all over the internet and I wanted to try it out for myself just to see if you could really get a nice looking hoodie at the end of this. I know a lot of you have seen people use the scrunch method, and this method I am a little bit skeptical about how it works, and you'll see in the video why, because I think people are making it look a little bit easier than it is, and there is sort of some touching up that you have to do. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get changed and we can get on with the video. Alright, so first thing you want to do is just open up your hoodie and lay it out on a flat surface. I basically just decided that I wanted to do the scrunch method for different sections of the hoodie instead of just scrunching up the entire hoodie altogether. So I did the arms separately, the body separately, and then the hood separately. So I just have some basic rubber bands here that I'm going to be using to tie the different areas off. I started with the sleeve and just started gathering fabric from the edge of the sleeve all the way up to the shoulder, and then I put a rubber band around all the fabric that I had scrunched up, and that was basically it. And then moved on to the next sleeve and did the exact same thing, just using a rubber band to tie everything together. You basically want to think about where the bleach is going to fall on your clothing, so any fabric that you see is basically what the bleach is going to dye. So now that I've done my arms, I'm going to move on to the main body of the hoodie. I'm doing the same thing, so I'm just starting at the bottom edge and I am scrunching upward towards the neckline of the hoodie. I basically was just gathering fabric with my fingers, and then once I got to the top, I tried to secure everything with a rubber band. So I'm just finishing that up, and then the last thing that is remaining on the hoodie is just the hood portion. And again, I did the exact same thing, so I just took the hood, scrunched it up as best I could, and then put a rubber band around it. I didn't tie the strings that come out of the hood into the scrunched portion. I sort of just left them out, but if you guys want to tie them in, you can. Lastly, I felt like I just needed some more rubber bands, but I did not have any more in the house, so I just used this plastic hair tie instead. I have one in black and one in like a clear color, and I figured it would be better than using a fabric hair tie because it would probably get dyed by the bleach. So I just used this to sort of tie up any areas that I thought were still loose, just to make the hoodie really compact and scrunched. So that's basically it when it comes to scrunching up your hoodie. This is what mine looked like, and I'm going to go ahead and move on to the bleach solution next. So I basically used this empty pop bottle and I poked a hole in the cap so that I could squeeze out the bleach solution. I didn't have a spray bottle or a squeeze bottle lying around. I thought this was a great DIY for those of you who don't have that either. This took me literally 5 minutes to make. I also had this measuring cup which I used to measure out my bleach solution. I basically did 2 cups of this with 2 cups of bleach, so it's just equal parts bleach and water. I didn't know how much I would need to saturate the hoodie, and this did end up being a little bit too much, so 2 cups of water and 2 cups of bleach, so 4 cups total of solution was a bit too much to do the hoodie with, but if you want to do other projects with it, I'm sure it will stay in the bottle for a while, so you can use it for other items of clothing or other DIY projects, but I would actually recommend maybe just using 1 cup of water and 1 cup of bleach. It should be more than enough. Okay, so now that our bleach solution is all mixed up, I have put my hoodie inside a casserole dish just so I can catch where the bleach is falling. I just propped it up on top of this rack that I have that goes across my sink just so you guys could see what I'm doing, but if you're doing this at home, you can put the casserole dish directly in the sink. So this is the easy part. You basically just cover all the fabric that you can see in bleach. You don't need to worry about where you're applying it because we've already scrunched it up. That is what's going to create our pattern, so you can just go to town and cover your hoodie in bleach. I thought it was so cool that I could already see my hoodie turning colors. The bleach had barely been on the hoodie for less than a minute at this point, and it was already stripping the black color off the hoodie. Basically, in total, I left the bleach on for, I would say, about 10 to 15 minutes, and that lifted it enough for me to get the color that I wanted. You could leave it on for longer, and I think it would become a lighter color, but I did want sort of like an orangey caramel color, and that is what I got. I also flipped it over and made sure that I got the other side, and then later on you'll see that I also made sure that I got the edges as well, or the sides that the bleach wasn't naturally dripping onto. While it's scrunched, it's kind of hard to tell what part of your hoodie you are dyeing, and so I just wanted to make sure that I got all the exposed areas so that we had an even tie-dye pattern. So I basically just finished that up and let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, and this is the color that it turned. I was pretty happy with this, so I decided to go ahead and rinse out the hoodie. Because I had to untie it and I really didn't want to touch the bleach solution with my hands, I just rinsed it out while it was still tied, just so I could dilute some of the bleach solution and not irritate my skin. So this was basically the part that I was waiting for. I went ahead and started untying all of the rubber bands just so I could really open up the hoodie and see what pattern we had made. I unfortunately wasn't extremely happy with how it turned out, which you will see in a second. The color that it produced was amazing and it definitely did its job, but I think it was how we scrunched the hoodie that really just missed the whole front of the hoodie. As you can see, I barely had any pattern on the front and even on the back of the hood, and so I decided that I wanted to go in again. And I basically just used the same hair tie and left it in the sink, scrunched up the areas that I knew needed some more bleach, and just let that sit for another 10 to 15 minutes and then come back and check on it. I basically ended up doing this actually a few times until I was happy with the results. I recommend that when you're doing this, you open it up and really take a look before washing it and putting it in the dryer, only because I think that if you try to go back in afterwards and match the color that you got from the original bleaching, I don't think it'll happen very well. But then again, that totally could be a new look. Anyways, I was finally done and this is what it turned out like. I did have a little bit of like a vinyl logo on the front, which wasn't dyed by the bleach, but that's okay. That's what I was expecting. Other than that, everywhere else I was pretty much happy with. I did drip a little bit of bleach on certain parts just without tying it, because there were still parts that were a little bit plain. And I guess this is not the traditional way to do tie-dye, but this is just what worked for me, and I think it turned out really well. If you guys know of a way that would have a better outcome, maybe I wasn't scrunching it properly, or maybe I watched the wrong video to teach me how to do this, could you guys please leave a comment down below and let me know what method you think would work better. I'm totally happy to try this on a different sweater. Actually, the one I'm wearing in this video is sort of an old one as well, and I was thinking about dyeing it. It's also purple, so I'm not really sure what color the bleach will make it, so I think that would be sort of a fun project. If you guys have done any reverse tie-dyeing with bleach on purple, let me know what color your fabric ended up turning out, because I am kind of curious. I'm not sure if it would just pick up the undertones of purple and it would turn pink, or if it would just go directly white, but it would be really interesting to see. So yeah, please comment if you guys have tie-dyed anything with a purple base, just so I can get an idea of what to look out for. So basically I just started washing the hoodie with soap. I know a lot of other videos recommend just putting it directly in the washing machine, but I wanted to really wash it out in the sink first and then pop it in the laundry because I did not want it to ruin any other clothes that I put in with it. I just washed it with cold water and regular laundry detergent, and then I popped it in the dryer for about 1 hour on medium heat, and here is how it turned out.